YouTube. I'm back once again with some more pickups. So it's Friday today, it's the 25th of September, and it's been quite a day. Off work today, every other Friday, as you guys probably know by now, at least those who have been watching for a while. I get every other Friday off, and I had a bit of a plan this morning which stemmed back to Wednesday. I found an item on eBay on Wednesday, an 88 films Blu Ray, which I used to own but sold a couple of years ago, and one I'd not managed to get back. And when I was looking through this this person's listings on eBay, there was a whole bunch of other items for sale, mostly 88 films, but some Arrow and other bits and bobs as well. And so I put a watch on a few things, and that one item, which was the last horror film, which is one of 88 films' early releases, out of print now. And I thought I'd have a look on CEX. One, to see what it goes for. Well, actually, specifically to see what it goes for. Because last time I looked, it was about £12, I think, and it was £6. But not only that, there was one in Hartlepool, which isn't a million miles away from me. It's only about half an hour's drive. So I thought, if this one goes above that, I'd have a ride over to Hartlepool on Friday, being today, and grab it. Anyway, it finished yesterday. As it turned out, I missed the end of the auction, so I never got a chance to bid on it. And it ended at I think it's about £5.70, something like that, and £2 postage. So it was well over the £6. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do on Friday. I'll have a ride up there and get that. I had what was it, £7.70, something like that, from those three items I got at the weekend that I traded in the Phoenix Nights and Cadfiel box set. And I thought, as I always do, I'll check online and see what else is in store before I go there. It turned out they had an Arrow Blu Ray box set, which is kind of been on my wish list for a very, very long time. Problem is, it was 25 quid, and I didn't have 25 quid worth of vouchers. But more on that in a bit. But for now, we're just going to get into the first lot of the pickups at least. So this morning, I thought, before I go off to Hartlepool, I'm going to have a walk around Stockton, see if I can find anything else to trade, make a little bit of extra money. And first place I went was British Red Cross. Actually, it was the second place, but the first place I went was Sue Ryder's, but there was nothing in there. I went to the British Red Cross. They had 3 Blu-rays, still doing their 3 for 2, 2 for 3, 3 for 2, 3 for the price of 2. These are all £1 each, so basically it's buy 2 get 1 free. So I paid £2 for all of these. So I got Star Trek, the original J.J. Abrams movie with the slipcover, which was £1. What Happens in Vegas, originally from Granger Games. Well, not originally, but at one point this came from Granger Games. I'm not sure whether I've seen this or not. And again, another copy of Bad Neighbours. This one having a really, really awful slipcover, so that's going to go. I believe there is a digital copy in here. There is. So there it is. If I can focus on. I've already got this, so if anybody wants to give that a go. I don't know if it's expired. Can't see there if it says or not. And I certainly don't know whether it's been even redeemed. But as per usual. If you give it a try, it's obviously first come, first served, and it works, or if it doesn't work, either way, just leave me a message below just to let me know one way or the other. Then moving on, I went into Age UK. I only found one DVD in there, but the DVD shelf, which used to be, I would guess, probably as wide as that shelf, a little over 1 metre, times 2, because they had 2 shelves next to each other, and then maybe 5 or 6 rows high. The top row being CDs on one side, and then eventually they put CDs over on the other side. They're now down to just 2 shelves on one side of DVDs. The rest has been taken over by books. Last week they had 3 shelves of DVDs, but one of them has been taken over by CDs. They must have had a huge amount of CDs donated recently, and amongst them was a whole bunch of classical stuff, which I'm pretty sure some of it's worth money, but I just didn't have the time or the inclination to just start scanning every single one. But they also had a bunch of audio books, and I had a quick search on eBay just for one of the authors, and some sold on there quite recently. A lot of 5 audiobooks sold for 30 quid, and a few of those were amongst the ones that I saw there, so I went through them all. Anyway, I eventually bought all of those for 25 pence each, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to make my money back on those on eBay. So like they say, every little helps. If I can make a little bit of money here and there just to pay for some of this stuff that I'm buying, and to make up the numbers, the one DVD I bought, I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, the one DVD I bought was Logan, which I traded into CEX for £1, so it cost me 25p. Basically I got £1 back on the £4 I spent on that lot and the one DVD. And then moving on, I went into Salvation Army. I went blank for a minute there, and bought a few bits and bobs in there, some for me and again some to sell on. So I've got 6 DVDs and 4 Blu-rays, all at 45 pence each. So a few I bought for me. Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz original movie. Never seen this. I'm pretty sure I've seen it out and about before, and when I actually picked it up I thought I maybe even owned it, but I checked on the app, and there's another thing that I've got an app on my phone. I have mentioned it a few times before, and I did a search on it today for something that I saw in CEX, and I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I looked on the app and this wasn't on there, so I grabbed it. I saw some stuff in CEX. I have 3 series of Minder. I know I've got series 1, but I couldn't remember what the other ones were, so I checked on the app, and the only one that's showing on there is series 1. Now either I've forgotten to scan those other 2, or they've disappeared. Now this does happen from time to time. I'll scan something and then 5 minutes later it's gone and I have to rescan it again. Now I don't check every single item after I've scanned it. I move on to the next. So sometimes I think it scans it, and then when you save it, it doesn't actually save it. So I'm going to have a serious look through, and I'm not looking forward to it because there's over 5,000 items on that listed on that app at the minute of titles that I own. But yeah, there's certainly stuff that should be on there that isn't. Anyway, this is a weird one. Dunkirk. It's a BBC, I'm guessing, movie, but it might be a mini-series or a show, I'm not sure. but it's been put out by Arrow. I've never seen that before. I mean, Arrow put out all sorts of stuff, but I've never seen them actually do something that's a BBC. But I don't know anything about this, other than the subject matter, I guess. I haven't even looked to see who's in it. But like I say, these were all 45p, so I grabbed it. It's, I'm sure it'll be interesting. The BBC generally do quality stuff. This one I just got for the genre, I guess. It's an alien invasion movie. Alien 8, I've never heard of it, but it just looked interesting. 45p. Then these next three, again, I got to resell. I haven't actually checked them on CEX yet. They might be worth trading in. But my thoughts were Disney DVDs coming up to Christmas, maybe Facebook Marketplace. So I found Tangled, and the discs are all fine on these. Peter Pan and The Little Mermaid. But my thoughts were, if I can find Disney DVDs in good condition for 50p or less, they've got to be worth £1 a piece. Putting them on Facebook Marketplace on the road to Christmas, people I'm sure are going to want things like that. And then Blu-rays, again, these were all 45p each. Where the Wild Things Are, never seen that one. Rango, something else that was in Granger Games at one point, but from a different charity shop. So whether these were donated by the same person into two different charity shops, I'm not sure. Puss in Boots, I still haven't seen that. There is a 3D release of that, which I need to look out for. And then finally from Salvation Army and Stockton, for that matter, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This does have a digital copy inside, but it's one that you need the disc for. It's an iTunes one, so it's not really that much use to anybody. So get them out of the way. So after I'd seen what I was intending to buy at CEX in Hartlepool for 25 quid, I thought maybe I can make some quick cash. And I thought HMV still doing 2 for 15 on Star Wars Blu-rays. So I checked CEX online on the app to see whether those Blu-rays were still trading in. Now the price has gone down slightly, but it's still pretty good. So for £15, I got Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, which trading for £25. So that pays for this set that I bought. I only had just under £10 in vouchers, so I was going to have to pay £15 on top of that to get this set. So it just made sense to buy those two Blu-rays for £15 and pays for the whole set, which means I had the £8.70 to buy something else, but I didn't, and we'll go into that in a bit as well. But only problem is, while I was in HMV, I'd seen one of the things that this guy was selling on eBay the other night was an 88 Films release, one of the Jackie Chan movies. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, I know I've seen that in HMV somewhere recently. And what I've been doing while I've been going round all the different HMVs, when I've seen something that I don't have, it's got a limited edition slipcover, specifically 88 Films, sometimes Arrow, but specifically 88 Films, I take a snapshot of it so I can remember which HMV I saw it in. And it just so happens this one was in Middlesbrough, in the local HMV. Snake and Crane, The Art of Shaolin. Now, I must have taken this picture about a month ago, So I had no idea whether it would still be there. This sold, or not this one, but one exactly the same as this, sold on eBay just this evening for £59 at auction. Not right now. People bid on it up to £59. And when I saw that the other night, that it was, you know, almost that high, I thought, I know I've seen one of them. It was £9.99. I didn't buy this to put on eBay, but I've got to say it's tempting. I don't believe I've seen another one of these anywhere else, because I would have had a picture of it in one of the other HMVs. I am going to keep this. As tempting it is to make a quick profit on it, I'm not going to. And I might regret that, because I've got a feeling at £59, that's something that probably won't stay that high. If that is even a normal thing, maybe it's just an anomaly that it's sold for that amount. HMV also at the moment, so that I did intend on getting today if they still had it. These I didn't, but when I saw they were at 2 for 15, so they've been marked down into 2 for 15. These are the only ones of these that they had left. They had both, no, they had one of these, other copies of one of these. So in the 2 for 15 anyway, these are 88 films, Italian collection releases. So I got Beyond the Darkness with the limited edition slipcover, and Rat's Night of Terror, again with a limited edition slipcover. I think this one comes with a poster as well, or art card or something. I remember there's something extra in this one. They had more copies of this, but the release without the slipcover. This is the only copy of this that they had. Yeah, in the 2 for 15, I had to grab them. I couldn't run the risk that they weren't going to be there next time, and I don't know when the next time will be that I get to HMV or have a little bit of extra cash. Yeah, well, I've kind of spent way more today than I really wanted to, and with what I've got to pay for before the end of this month, I've kind of blown the budget a little bit. And brings me to the next item that I bought, which wasn't that expensive, and actually, again, this is something that will trade in for actually triple probably what I bought it for. In fact, there's no probably, it will. I checked, and when I saw it, I scanned it. It cost me a £5 and it trades in for £15. Or does it get cash for 15? I can't remember now. It sells for quite a bit. But I bought recently the first series of this on DVD somewhere very cheap. But this is the complete digitally remastered Sweeney box set on DVD. This thing is massive, and it was a £5. Now there is just one thing about this that really annoys me, and it's absolutely immaculate, and I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's something not quite right there. What I thought that was actually a slim case DVD inside. Maybe it's the movies, I thought, even though I've got both of those movies on Blu-ray now. You can't get these on Blu-ray except for the first series, which is well out of print. For whatever reason, they never put network, that is, never put series 2, 3 and 4 out on Blu-ray. Maybe the first one didn't sell well, I don't know. But it's a nice hard case, which I like. And you've got these digipacks, which again, nice hard card. And they open out, and you've got 4 discs per series. So that's series 1. Again, series 2. Series 3 and Series 4. Can you see the problem? So you open it out and, oh wait a minute, there's, what? It's there. I don't know how that's happened, and it's stuck on. It's really stuck on. Now, part of me wants to take it off. I mean, why wouldn't I? And put it back where it's supposed to be. Now, in my experience, the glue on these is either really flimsy and just pulls away straight away, or it's very strong and will more than likely rip the paper on the card underneath and destroy that picture. Now maybe I'll try a hairdryer and see if I can melt it. But yeah, that's it's so annoying, and it's the only one thing about this that I really don't like. I love the set; it's fantastic, and like I say, it cost me £5 from Shelter. When I walked up to the counter with it, is it going to focus? When I walked up to the counter with it, the woman said to me, she said, "You know, I've literally just put that on the shelf 5 minutes ago." I said, "I must have just come in at the right time then." Yeah, I was chuffed when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. Which also means I'll have to look online. I haven't yet. Of the, I think it was Series 1 that I bought, but it was in just a standard fat Amray case. I'll have to see whether that's worth trading in. But yeah, that's, if it wasn't for the Arrow box set that I got, that would probably be my pickup of the day. Really happy about that. But that brings me to the end of Middlesbrough. Charity shops, other than Shelter, didn't have much at all. YMCA, where I got all those video CDs a few weeks ago, didn't have much. The only other one that was open was the British Heart Foundation, and there was one Blu Ray of, and I meant to look on CEX and I didn't. They had a TV box set of, oh, what's it called? The something list. Can't remember. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, it's not important. But it's £2.99. I don't know whether that was a good price or not, but I left it. But the other shops, there's only a couple of other charity shops. One's closed down, the other one still hasn't reopened, and then the third one, I went in and there wasn't much in there either. So eventually I got up to Hartlepool. By the time I got up to Hartlepool, actually, it was nearly 4 o'clock. So I was getting pushed for time. On top of my pile is probably the last thing that I actually bought. And I went into Bernardo's. It was 5 to 5. And I didn't expect them to be open. I was looking to the other side of the road just to see if I could see whether they're open or not. And there was lights on. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cross over and have a look. As I got to the door, it said they're open till 5. When I pushed the door, it was still unlocked. So I thought, well, if the door's unlocked, I'm going in. And I had a lot of DVDs, and I glanced through quickly. There wasn't really time to have a proper look, but the one thing that I found, which I've never seen this out in the wild anywhere before, Only Fools and Horses, the Christmas trilogy, or at least the first Christmas trilogy, from 95 or 96, which has the 3 specials, Heroes and Villains, Modern Man, Time in Our Hands. That top one looks a little bit faded compared to the others. Now I do own one of these. I can't remember which one, so I'm hoping it's that one. Another thing they've done, which really annoys me, is it's very difficult to see. You can just see the reflection there. Sellotaped it closed. I hate it when they do that. It doesn't matter so much on an Amray case, but on something like this that's glossy, you just know that that tape is going to take off that glossy layer. And a lot of what's there that I got from a different place have done the same. And for most of them it doesn't really matter, but for one it really, really does. But yeah, I'm really happy to have got that. This is something that's not particularly valuable at all, but I never see it ever. So yeah, Only Fools and Horses. That we're going to leave to the end, because that's perfect. These two came from, I didn't take any notice again of the charity shop. It's a one-off charity shop in Hartlepool, and I can never remember what it's called. I got a bunch of DVDs from there recently, and now I think about it, I think they were cheaper last time. I'm sure I got either 3 or 4 for £1, whereas today they were 50p each, or £2 each for the box sets. But again, these are Disney ones that I'll add to the pile of hopefully sell them on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace at Christmas. So I got the original Frozen. That slipcover isn't in great condition, but what's inside and the disc, most importantly, is pretty much mint. A few fingerprints, but no scratches. And Princess and the Frog. So for 50p each, I thought they were worth a risk. Then this next bunch all came from cash converters, and they were all £1 each. Now, not all their Blu-rays were £1 each. I had to cherry pick. Most are £2, some are £4. A few of the box sets are even more. I think the most expensive box set was Friends, which was like 30 quid, which to me seemed a little bit too expensive. But yeah, for £1 each, I got Constantine. Finally got Constantine on Blu-ray. I do have this on HD DVD, but it's a Warner Brothers, so who knows whether it's or how long it's going to last. But yeah, I really like this film. I know a lot of people didn't, but I do. I think it's great. This one basically for the black case. Last Witch Hunter, again for £1. Technically, I do own this. I think this is an American release. I'm not 100% sure. But this is it. Michael Jackson. This is it. This is my copy. This is the UK release. I picked this up and it just felt too heavy for what this should be. Inside there's an extra disc, and I thought, do I have 2 discs in mine? I couldn't remember. My app came in handy at that point, because I checked and it showed on there that mine only has 1 disc, and when I came back it actually does only have 1 disc. It's also got a lenticular card, which again I don't remember that being in mine, and it isn't. What is very curious about this is that I didn't notice until I got home, but the bonus disc has a digital copy specifically for the Sony PSP, which is a bit random. I don't get that. I don't know why it's specifically for the PSP, but there you go. Turns out pretty much everything on here seems to be on here. So everything that's on both of these discs physically, you're not including the digital copy, is on this 1 disc. But again, it was £1. I got a nice little lenticular card out of it. So yeah, I'm not unhappy. There's a few other bits again, digital. Not that it's going to make any difference to anyone, because you need the disc anyway, but the digital codes there. And then again, I think this is probably specific to North America as opposed to the UK. So, but again, when this came out, what, 10 years ago? So I don't think they'll be any good anyway. So also, ooh, dropping things now. Also for £1 each, a TV show that I know nothing about other than the title, and what I gather from the covers that it's probably set in Victorian or Edwardian era. So we've got Lark Rise to Candleford, the BBC show, Series 1. Series 2. And Series 3. This was the biggest shock amongst these, I would say. The complete first series of Outlander for £1. What? It's not the limited edition one that I used to own, but that's fine. It says there should be a digital copy in here. It's taped up, so I haven't actually had chance. Well, it's not that I haven't had a chance, I just haven't had a look inside yet. So let's see if we can cut through. And have a look. Get rid of that. So, not in there. How many discs have we got? 3 in that one. There's all sorts of stuff in here. 2 in that one. There we go. It says it expired in 2018, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has expired. But it could well have been redeemed. But like I say always, first come, first served. If it works or if it doesn't work, whoever tries it, just let me know one way or the other. That'd be great. I still haven't got through all of this series. We've seen a little bit of it. Yeah, I didn't expect this to be £1, if I'm honest. Terminator 2. I do have this at least twice, no, 3 times, 3 different releases on HD DVD. I've kind of been holding out for the Blu-ray. You did used to have this edition on Steelbook a long time ago, but I sold that. But I've been kind of holding out for the 3D remastered edition, which I haven't managed to get hold of yet. But for £1, I had to grab that. Ooh, I had to grab that one. This one's brand new and sealed. So we've got the 3D edition of Titanic. Again, this feels quite weighty, but it's a not for individual sale copy. So I wonder if this comes out of the set that has Titanic and, is it Avatar, or is it something else? Just trying to think what other James Cameron movies have been released in 3D. I can't think of anything offhand. So maybe it is Avatar. There is a two movie box set, specifically 3D 2 movie box set of James Cameron movies. I guess there is Terminator 2 that we just talked about, but it's not that one. But I wonder if this is out of that box set. It's not out of the Amazon box set that I own. The Amazon exclusive Titanic box set, which has the 3D in as well. Now I'm saying that, I think maybe it could be. Hold that thought. Well, who'd have thunk it? Not me. For some reason, when I picked this up, I was thinking the box set has the chunky edition in the fat case, but that's not the case. The fat case is the standard, the standalone, should I say, Blu-ray release, 3D Blu-ray release. Whereas the box set that I own has this one, which is not for individual sale. So I think it's probably exactly the same. It's just that this one has a slipcover. Let's have a look. Yep, I would say they are most likely, and that's even more weird, that I totally lost my train of thought there for a moment. Yeah. I don't know how I made that mistake, but anyway, I've got a nice shiny new wrapped edition to go into my box set. And that box set doesn't actually need to be opened anymore. Oh, wrong way. So that one can just go on my 3D shelf. So win-win. Again, for £1, we've got Spartacus, Gods of the Arena. This was the prequel series. It came out after the first series of Spartacus. I love this show, really did. It was so good, and I need to try and get on finding the rest of these as well. Finally, from Cash Converters, War of the Planet the Apes, again for £1. £1. This again comes with a digital copy. Same disclaimer. It is actually still valid, this one, up until the end of December, but it could have been redeemed already. I don't know. So once again, if you try it and it works, or if it doesn't work, either way, just let me know. This one's an iTunes one, so it will probably be 4K as well. The one I redeemed, I'm pretty sure, was 4K on iTunes when I got the 3D a while back. So I've had it. Right, drum roll. Bit premature, we'll get this out of the way. So, CEX. So I went into CEX. I had, like I say, the voucher that I had was £8, £7 something, but I traded in Logan, so I got another £1. So I literally had just under £9. But because I got those 2 Star Wars, I traded them in for £25, which let me get this for the £15 that it cost me for those 2 Star Wars. So I'm very pleased. This, I believe, was Arrow's first attempt at a Blu-ray box set. I'm fairly sure that's correct. This is Battle Royale, the original Blu-ray box set release that Arrow brought out. I'm not sure what year now. A fair while ago. And I am so pleased. I've been looking for this for such a long time, and I missed out on one of their sales. Maybe it's a couple of years ago. I think it was about £20. I want to say it was a price glitch. I can't remember whether it was this or it's something else, but there was, I'm fairly sure it was this on one of their sales, came up very quickly as a price glitch, and then it went back up, and I missed out. But this has been out of print for quite some time now. I saw the DVD version of this in CEX in Darlington last year, I want to say, but it wasn't in the best condition. Now this isn't immaculate. It's a little bit misshaped on the top there, but as far as I know, it's got everything inside. So you've got the 3 discs, which I think are exactly the same 3 discs that are in the window box edition and the steelbook edition. Does that have 3 discs? I can't remember now. And there is an Amray as well. One of the first Amrays came with the 3 discs, and there's also a single disc version of that. So I can grab it without knocking the camera over. So it's these 2. Checking the weight. So this one's got 1 disc, which is just the theatrical, and then this is the 3 disc edition with theatrical, director's cut, and the special features. So as far as disc content, this and this are identical. I want to say, I don't know that for certain, but I wouldn't think there'd be anything different on these 3 discs that aren't on those 3 discs. But it's all the extra content and the packaging that makes this so special. It's originally retailed at $49.99, I believe, when Arrow first put this out. You got the comic there, which I believe the window box edition comes with a comic. And I want to say it might be exactly the same one, actually, because it's the right size. But then you've got a couple of extra books here. So artwork and concepts and essays and comments. Then you've got a bunch of art cards and poster in there. More art cards. I was talking to the guy in the store, and he mentioned that this was his, and he got the steelbook, and he didn't see the point of having both copies, and because this one was so big, he decided to get rid of this one rather than the steelbook. And he was contemplating selling his Hellraiser Scarlet box, and I thought, ooh. And I just curiously commented, what do they sell them for these days, meaning CEX? And he looked up and he said, oh, they sell for 90 quid. I thought, that's a little bit expensive. He said just keep an eye online. He said it'll be in here fairly soon. So it looks like he's going to bring that one into the store as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to increase my game as far as finding things to trade, which means that this may end up going after all at some point. Because if that does end up in there, it's so close that I mean, that is as far as grails go when it comes to Arrow releases. I would say the Scarlet box set is probably top of the list for me. But I look occasionally. I did travel fair distance 2 years ago to 2 different stores for one, and both times they were incomplete, and I had to pass, even though I had travelled. Even though, like I say, I'd travelled, it wasn't worth, for me, spending, I think, the £60 or £70 it was at that time on something that was incomplete, because I know the only way I would ever get it complete would be to rebuy it again, because there's no way anyone's going to part out the bits from a box set like that. So who knows, at some point in the near future, and how the hell I'm going to afford it, I don't know. But hopefully I can get that Scarlet box set as well. But yeah, I'm chuffed about that. The one downside about this is it's DVD sized and not Blu-ray sized. In fact, it's just a little bit bigger than a DVD. It ain't going to fit on that shelf with the rest of the box sets. So I don't know at the moment where I'm going to put it, because it's all hidden at the moment behind all this. I've got the Arrow stuff all there, and then it ends there with a bit there, and you're going up into 88 films, and even then at that height, in fact when you get to that height, you get to a point where the shelves are big enough for DVDs, but all of these are not. So finding a home for this, I mean, I have shelving area that this will fit. Actually, if we glance back over there, which you probably can't see too well, but all the Arrow DVDs and Shameless and 88 films and whatever else, all the DVDs that I own from those sets are over there. So maybe it can sit over there. Yep, so anyway, this is all today, everything. But it puts me in a bit of a dilemma now, because I've overspent. And I need to save some money, not just because I want that Scarlet box set, but because I've committed to, well, not so much committed, because I could cancel pre-orders, I suppose. I don't want to, but yeah, I've got pre-orders for the end of this month that I need paying for. So this could be the quietest month for me in a while. I don't like the thought of that. So anyway, we'll see. I never stick to these things. When I say, yeah, I'm not going to spend any more money, I never stick to it, but I want to stick to it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. As usual, if you've got this far, thank you. Just put a little comment down below just to say you got to the end. I know those that usually do every time, so thank you. But if you have got to the end and you've done it before and maybe not made a comment, just put a comment in just to say got to the end. It's just nice to know how many people have actually made it to the end of the video, because like I mentioned before, I think a lot of people, and I don't blame anybody for switching off before they get to the end. That's quite okay. But I would like to know how many people make it to the end of the video, but I'm not going to waffle anymore. That will do for this one. So thank you very much, and catch you next time. I was going to say whenever that will be. I am expecting a parcel very soon, so there will be an unboxing coming shortly. Anyway, thanks very much. Ta-ra out.